So what are you doing? It is 5 to 8 a.m. And I finally thought it would be a good time to come out and bring you along with me on a ride. Sorry it's been so long, you guys. I had a new subscriber. What prompted me for this ride was I had a new subscriber that saw me on, I think it's a guy, saw me on his way to work and went to the channel and didn't see anything posted lately. So he was wondering what the hell's going on, and he put up a comment saying so. So I thought, hey, it has been a while. Let me go post a video. So here we go. And just as a reminder, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so. I'm at 198. I've been doing it for 3 years. I think that I'm obviously doing something wrong because I don't have more subscribers, but I do love the subscribers that I do have. In either case, if you aren't subscribed, please do. I'd love to get to 1,000 subscribers. And comment. I love comments. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about, the main thing I wanted to talk to you about was this helmet that I have on. I'm so excited about it. It's kind of pitiful that I'm excited about a helmet, but I am. So here's the deal. My strap broke on my helmet due to a little mishap that I had. And because of the helmet that I have, it's the company's called 1000. Because of the helmet, the brand, I remembered from 3 years ago when I bought the two helmets for Stephen and I. I remembered that they had a lifetime warranty. And when the strap broke, I was like, oh my God, okay, what do I do now? Because they're over $100. They're not cheap in my opinion. They're not cheap bicycle helmets, but I like how they look. I really like how they look. So I went rummaging around in my shop / garage for the boxes, and lo and behold, I'm enough of a pack rat or hoarder or whatever you want to call it that I actually had the boxes for them and all the paperwork and everything like that. Good morning. The only thing I didn't have was a receipt, proof of purchase. So what I didn't think about that, of course, even though I've worked retail for my entire life. So I went to their website, and they have, plastered all over. They're very proud of their lifetime warranty, but they also say, like everybody does, like they should, that, you have to provide them some information, and if you have a wreck, or if you lose, somebody steals your helmet, whatever, they'll provide a new one for you. And being in retail management specifically, for 30 plus years, I was very, very skeptical, even though, they really have it plastered all over the website. So they are extremely proud of that. And that's kind of why I bought the helmets, to be honest, because they, because they look good and they don't look like a normal bicycle helmet that goes, I don't like that it looks like they just sit on top of your head like a big top hat or something. Regular bicycle helmets. This one doesn't. It's more like a motorcycle helmet, and I like that. So anyway, I'm going on and on. So I went on there, and ooh, what was that? Didn't like that. What was that? Didn't like that. That was a little click. Anyway, I went on there and put my little story up there and told them about the little mishap that I had, and told them that I bought two helmets, one for me and one for my son Steven, and that I love their helmets because I do. Good morning. And oh, that's something. And I asked if it was even possible after 3 years to get a new helmet. And it was over the weekend, I think, that I sent it to him, send the email to him. In either case, over the weekend, it said that it was AI, but the response was from AI, an AI response, but it wasn't one of the normal AI responses. It was real personable, and it sounded, or it looked like it was from a person. Anyway, that kind of took me back a little bit. But I guess, I just thought, well, AI has come a long way since it started, I guess. So I didn't worry very, very much about it. But then on Monday or Tuesday, I had another response because the AI told me to, they weren't in the office and just hold on and somebody will get with me and talk to me about it. So I got an email from somebody named Amy from Thousand. And she said, "Hey, sorry to hear about your little mishap that you had, and we'd love to take care of you." And she told me some information to give her. Good morning. So, of course, I gave her that information. What information I could. One of those pieces of information, it was what color, what size, what model, and then whatever it was, the proof of purchase. And I got kind of creative because, again, I've been in retail forever, and figured something out. And the long story short is that she honored my request, and I did not think she would, only because I didn't give a traditional proof of purchase. Coming up on your left, buddy. Have a great day. So, anyway, obviously, I'm wearing the helmet, so they came through with just absolute flying colors. They're friggin' legends. This Amy lady is phenomenal. Good morning. I got it in record time. It was, the whole friggin' experience, was awesome. Absolutely awesome. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. I mean, and I, of course, kept telling them that because, they went way, way, way above and beyond, or Amy did, and I really appreciate it because I didn't want to put, another 125, 150, whatever it was, dollars out. I mean, it's a lot of money for me. So anyway, I'm very, very happy about it. It's just awesome. Yeah. And I told them that I had two helmets, one for me and one for Steven, and they sent me two helmets, which is even more of a bonus, right? Just, I don't know. I don't know. I have just so much good to say about that company, 1000. It's just, they're really impressive. They say that they'll replace your helmet if you damage it, if you get in a crash or it's lost or stolen or whatever. And they actually mean it, for once. That's not usually how these warranties go. If you know anything at all about warranties, they don't usually go that easy, especially with, with the obstacles that I gave her. and they just came through flying colors. That's all there is. I'm so happy about it. Anyway, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. About 1000 helmets. They're just awesome. So another thing that because it's been like 2 months, I think. Another thing that I have that I haven't told you guys about, I don't think. Good morning. Is my headrest. I think, well, if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you probably know that I've struggled with a couple of things. Well, a few things. Well, the biggest thing probably is my chain being lined up, and it's finally, I mean, this thing is dialed in. But I've had huge problems with that. Another thing that I've had issues with is the canopy. I want a canopy, and I went through one of the ones that they put on these things, which is a kayak canopy, and it didn't work. It flopped around at speed like crazy, and it was just, it folded while I was riding. It was horrible. So, good morning. So I went with a good morning. The next one that I got was much sturdier, much more robust, and it was from, God, I forget now what company it was from. I don't want to say the wrong one. And in either case, it's from a trike company that make recumbent trikes, and it was specific for them, and it was cheap. I think cheap compared to what it could have been. I think it may have been $200, and I got it because I saw a lady that I had followed someplace on Facebook or Instagram or wherever I've followed some of these groups, and she was in one of these group rides, and the canopy that she had was perfect. I thought, oh my God, I gotta have one of those. So I contacted her. She told me where she got it from, and I got one. I put it on, and it worked perfectly, just exactly, like I wanted it to. But It shook just a little bit up and down, but it was just enough to take the connection on the left and the right side up above my head apart. And it's the connections are kind of like what you call it, tent poles, how they slide into each other and then stop at a certain point. The ends are kind of flared out. Good morning. And they kind of came out. So it was perfect except for that. So I had to figure something out. So now I'm finally, that was of course months ago, but I'm slow at doing everything if you hadn't noticed. But I've been thinking about it, and I think what I'm going to be able to do is put some JB Weld on it. Drill some holes on the inside pole that slips inside the outside pole, and drill holes outside of it so that when I put the JB Weld on it, it'll kind of grab those holes on the inside, and that'll hold it securely. I think. In theory, that should work. So that's what I'm going to do in the near future. And what kind of brought that up was one of my coworkers saw me riding around Port St. Lucie, up on Port St. Lucie Boulevard one day last week, and he asked me about it. So it kind of brought it to the front of my mind, and I started thinking about it again. Good morning. Good morning. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna do the JB Weld thing. I think I actually have a tube of it. Hopefully it's not baked from being in the shop in the garage, but we'll see. In either case, that was one of the things that I've struggled with, because I want it, but I can't get it to work correctly, right? So I think this is the fix. I think this will actually do it. The only problem with that is I won't be able to take it apart once I can put it on and off the quad, but I can't take it apart. Good morning. Good. So hopefully in the next, whatever. It takes me forever to do anything. So hopefully I'll get that put on, because I told the guy from work, I said, hey, yeah, I've got two of them. Only one of them works, because he said, oh, I got to get me one of those, meaning the quad, and he said the only thing is I'd want some kind of cover, and I said, well, I have two of them, I said, so they're out there, you can buy them. So anyway, back to the story. So, that was another thing that I struggled with. There's been a few things. The dashboard I kind of struggled with. I put a bunch of stuff up here so I could see all kinds of stuff. And then I didn't use some of it. There's some things that are just sitting on the counter at home because I just don't use them. There's no reason to have, all this stuff. So I took that stuff off. And then I optimized where everything went so it was right in my line of sight. Good morning. Okay. Like my mirrors are right here, and that's, right exactly in my line of sight. My phone is right here, so it's right in my line of sight. My amplifier for my stereo is right there between my legs so I can see it, and so on and so forth. Good morning. So, all these things I kind of have moved around in the 3 years that I've owned this thing. I kind of moved around to where I where they are in the optimal spot. So now everything's kind of worked where it should be. And then another thing that I've struggled with is a neck rest or head rest, whatever you want to call it, behind my head, where it comes just perfectly to my neck, right? That's where it needs to come, because the helmet comes down real close to my neck, so it'll hit the helmet and really bounce a lot and stuff like that. I want it to be right, just in the perfect spot. And I've never been able to come up with the right mounting system or the right position of the mounting system that I put on, the bars and the clamps and all that stuff that I put on this thing to, support the speakers and, to support all the stuff that I have behind my head or right around my head, like the water bottles. They're right here, so all I have to do is reach back, grab one of them. There's one on either side. I just grab it and take a drink instead of, anything else. I didn't want one in here between my legs because I already have this stuff down there. All this different stuff took time to figure out where the perfect spot was. So I finally got the perfect spot for my my headrest. It's very nice. And you know what? It doesn't seem very important when I say it out loud to somebody else. But it really, really is. Position for the headrest is so important. Exactly where you put it and all that stuff. So I finally have it in the right spot now. And it's nice. So yeah, that's it. That's the things that I wanted to talk about. The other thing that I've talked about before a little bit. I think it was my last video that I posted that has like 511 views, which is huge for me. Absolutely huge. In the 2 months that it's been posted, it has 500 and some views, and that's so awesome. So I've posted it in the right spots, I guess. I just have, a little bit more to go on, where I post things and how I post things and stuff like that to bring it up to the level that I want it to be. The channel I'm talking about. So I'm, going in the right direction. In either case, the motor. Oh my God. It's the best motor I've ever had. It's the best version of the CYC motor that I've ever had. And it should be, because it's the latest generation, right? It's the Gen 4, the X1 Pro Gen 4. The CYC, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. It has just the right torque. Everything is just right. I've gone in, I think the first time ever, I've gone into it and I've adjusted. I downloaded the app. I attached the Bluetooth module to the motor finally, and because the last motor I had, the Gen 3, that's on Steven's trike right now, I didn't have the Bluetooth module attached, so I couldn't adjust everything that I wanted to adjust, right? Because when you have the app, you can adjust a whole bunch more than just what's on the screen. You can get into the options mode or whatever it is, and you can adjust it that way. But it's harder, and it doesn't adjust as much as if you're in the app. So downloaded the app, I attached it, I synced with it, whatever you call it, and I was able, through Bluetooth, to adjust it perfectly. And it is optimized like crazy. The probably the biggest thing, and I've talked about this before, where I thought I got it just right on the last motor, but I didn't get it like this. I want to say it's called the soft start mode. Oh my God, I have that turned on, and it makes all the difference in the world. I mean, it really does, because this, as you may know, this is a really, really, really powerful motor. This is as powerful as some of the Suron or Suron-like e-bikes out there that are really fast. You know, they go 50, 60 miles an hour, and this is as powerful as that. So, as some of them, I guess. So, what that means is when you start off, you have a whole lot of torque trying to get through that drivetrain, and that can completely tear up your drivetrain, completely. And it has on mine and on Steven's trike. Mine has 4 different chains, and they're broken up. They're smaller chains, right? On his, he has one chain, and it goes from the front chain ring all the way to the back to the derailleur, and to the rear cassette, right? It's just one, so it's huge. It's really long. So you have to have. Now I'm trying to think of what the hell it's called. You have midline right underneath the seat or right behind the seat. You have to have some sort of chain tensioner. I think that's what we call it. That's what I'm going to call it anyway. And it's just a couple of pulleys, one that attaches to the chain that's on the bottom, and one that attaches to the chain that's on the top, the part of the chain that's on the top. You know, chain's a loop, so one goes on the bottom, the other goes on the top, and you cross them, so it's kind of an X if you look at it from the side. All right, the middle of the X is where those pulleys are. So the motor is so powerful that it actually bent the bolt, and I had a really strong bolt in there. It bent the bolt because of the torque that these things have on them. And listen, Steven, you know, he's 21 years old. He wants to go fast. So, you know, and he doesn't really care all that much about breaking the thing. He just wants to ride it. So he's caused a little damage to it. So he bent that bolt. So what I had to do is I had to go out and I actually got it. I got it at Ace, a different color. It's I forget what they call the metal of these bolts, but it's automotive grade. So they're really heavy duty bolts, really hard to bend or snap or anything like that. At least that's what I think. I haven't ridden it yet, and I haven't had him ride it yet, but I think that this is the fix that will fix that issue. So I have one more thing to do with regards to his trike, which is I have to complete the installation of the motor, because I had it on here, and I didn't have a motor on his because he doesn't hardly ride his. So the last few months I haven't had any motor on his, but I took it off of here when I got the new motor, the Gen 4 and I put the motor on, the Gen 4 on here, I put the Gen 3 that was originally on his trike back on his trike. So that install is complete. And then another thing that I need to swap back was I need to put the 50 amp hour battery back on here and put the 40 amp hour battery back on his, because I swapped those out too. Hopefully I'm not confusing everyone in either case. So right now I get about 2.5 hours of ride time, you know, where it's back down to 72 volts again from 84. And I get about 2.5 hours. I'm hoping that I get about 3 hours of ride time with the 50 amp hour battery. But I have to put that on, so I have to switch those. It'll take me a full day at least to do all that stuff. And then one other thing that I haven't talked about is that I broke the front left shock somehow. I don't know, you know, just riding it like I do, I guess. I broke it. So it's kind of not a lot, but I can tell just barely that it's leaning down a little bit to the left. So I have to go and switch that out. I have two of the assemblies, the left and the right, that has the shock in it and the axle and everything. It's a whole assembly. I made sure the last time, because I've broken that before, not exactly the same way, but I've broken that before, where broke the wheel off. So on the left and the right. So when I bought the replacement for those, I also bought an extra left and right. So now I have everything I need in the garage. That's what I wanted, to be able to just, you know, swap it out when I want it and not have to wait for it from the people that built these things for me. So when I get off my butt, I'll be able to do all those things that I just mentioned. Put his trike and my quad up on the lift and fix all those things that are wrong. Then he'll be able to come out and ride with me, which I look forward to very much. And hopefully we'll be good. So, good morning. So anyway, let's see. Shock. What else? What else is new? I know there's something else. Dang it. I know there's something else. Forget what it is. Maybe it'll come to me here quickly. Hey guys. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I started talking about the soft start. What it does of the motor. What it does is when you start, what it seems like is there's a little bit of play in between the front and the rear cassette. It goes for half a second and then engages. So when it actually engages, it kind of slows itself down so that there's not such a punch when it actually hits, when it engages. I don't know how else to explain it. So it doesn't break stuff. It doesn't break the drivetrain. You know, it engages, but it kind of senses when it engages, so it holds itself back. You know what I mean? Instead of having it where it doesn't hold itself back and it just tries to punch through whatever it, you know, and give me as much torque as it can, because that just breaks stuff. And I've had that, you know, happen many times before on this and on Steven's trike. So with the soft start thingy engaged, it's just perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It works so well. And you know what? Honestly, that's what I've been doing this whole time, is just riding this thing and having an absolute blast. Not as much as I used to, but riding it a lot when I can, you know, and when, you know, it hasn't been broken as much as it used to be. I had a little issue with the front chain here coming off, and I had a tensioner on there. Like I still have this tensioner on here, but it was derailing because it was too loose. So I had to adjust the tension on it, and have a good day. And I got it adjusted just perfectly now. I mean, it might, you know, loosen up, who knows, but right now it's perfect. Everything is really, really good on this thing. Morning. So the thing that I've loved about it, the thing that really, you know, that I'm just, you know, over the moon about, is the fact that that I can just get on my quad and go, and not worry about any issues, not worry about anything. I'm just going. So that's the deal. That's what I really wanted to let you guys know. All the things that I really wanted to let you guys know about for this vlog, for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. That's where I'm gonna leave you off. I hope you have a great day or night or morning or whatever it is, wherever you're from. And I'll see you next time.